Is this really my family? Such a query weighed heavily upon me as I observed them portraying their affable personas, adorned with smiles that masked their true thoughts. Swiftly, I found myself growing disillusioned with this familial facade. My name is Samantha, a 28-year-old wife and homemaker, thrust into the midst of my childhood home alongside my newlywed husband. This unexpected living arrangement was the culmination of three distinct circumstances. Firstly, my father's enterprise faltered, plunging him into unemployment with no prospects in sight. Secondly, my older brother Ryan, despite his claims of being a YouTuber, remained without steady employment, much to our parents' dismay. As the eldest son, his lack of contribution to the household was deemed unacceptable. Thus, the burden of familial expectations shifted onto my husband, Alex, with my father pinning his hopes on him. Moreover, the specter of terminal illness loomed over us as my mother battled cancer, her prognosis dire. With a prognosis of just 2 years when my marriage was arranged, the whirlwind of change swept through our lives. In the wake of these trials, my father proposed that Alex move in with us. Given his close rapport with my father, forged over shared drinks, Alex readily assented. Despite the gravity of my mother's condition, I acquiesced to this arrangement, grateful for Alex's support. Yet, as time wore on since our marriage, the presence of my brother Ryan became increasingly irksome, testing the fragile equilibrium of our household. It's been a while. Why were you just a homemaker when Dad's out of work? Don't you find it odd that you're not employed? Are you even aware of what's happening with Mom? What would you do if I didn't take care of household chores, laundry, and meals for you, Ryan? It's me who's doing it all. Your tone drips with sarcasm, yet you dare to lecture me. And for your information, I work remotely. Remote work? Oh, you mean some measly side gig? That hardly qualifies as work. I don't need to hear this from you, Ryan. Get out there and find a real job. Got it? I had no justification to be subjected to such disrespect, and it stoked a fire within me. His accusations left me feeling unjustly vilified, backed into a corner. When I turned to Alex for solace, his response was dismissive. He must be under a lot of stress. Just ignore him, he said, failing to grasp the gravity of my predicament. With my mother's health deteriorating and my efforts to support her, my brother's callousness only added to my frustration. Did he even care about our mother? His indifference seemed palpable, exacerbating my stress. Looks like my workload is about to increase. If that happens, I might not have time for our regular spa visits. Well, that's not a problem for me. But if you can't manage things at home, that's a different story. We've got your mother to take care of, after all. Understood. I won't shirk my responsibilities. Do you need some cash or something? No, it's not about money. But could you accompany me for the weekend grocery run? If I do a weekly shop in one go, it'll free up more time for work. If you're serious about this, sure. We'll head there together. Eager to optimize my time, I planned to purchase groceries for the entire week in one trip to streamline my schedule. But then, an unexpected incident occurred. You thief! You've stolen my money. Out of the blue, my husband accused me of theft. I was baffled, clueless about any missing money, let alone what he was talking about. His face flushed with rage. He adamantly pointed the finger at me. I couldn't fathom why he'd suspect me. If anything, I should have been the outraged one. Blaming others isn't fair. Was it taken from your wallet? Don't pretend. $3,000 I kept in the drawer have vanished. $3,000. Return it, and we can put this behind us. Wait, why am I the culprit here? I didn't even know you stashed such a large sum in the drawer. Your recent talk about increasing your workload seems suspicious to me. I can't believe you'd stoop so low. No, you're misunderstanding. Please trust me. I'm sorry, but I can't trust you anymore. Stop accusing me. Give it back. No, I said give it back. That's enough. If you doubt me that much, go ahead. Get out, you criminal. I'll leave by the end of today. Angry and hurt, I lashed out, feeling unjustly accused by my own family. Cast out, I left the house. But the next day, my brother Ryan called me in a panic. Mom's frantic. What? She's been panicking and screaming since she heard you left. You need to return and calm her down. I won't go back there. I'll leave Mom in your care, Ryan. It's about time you stepped up. Though my words were firm, my heart wavered. I grappled with pride and concern for Mom. Enough with the excuses. She only listens to you. Just come back. Even Alex doesn't know what to do. I don't care. I will return and I'm filing for divorce. I don't care about that. It's not my concern. But if that's the case, take Mom with you. This is Mom and Dad's home. Why should I be the one to leave? If anyone's going, it's you, Ryan. If you're working, be independent. I'm the eldest son. This place is mine. I'm not leaving. You're shameless. Have you even considered Mom's feelings? She's battling an illness. I'll return, but only if you leave, Ryan. Those are my terms. I can't do that. It's impossible. Stop being selfish and come back already. Even in such dire circumstances, Ryan remained stubborn and self-centered. Meanwhile, Alex stayed distant, seemingly unfazed by the chaos. He only returned home to sleep, opting to eat elsewhere. My departure had evidently fractured the family. I never realized our family was so fragile. Then after a month, Alex finally reached out. Hey, how long will you sulk? Come back already. Your mother-in-law is difficult to handle and it's causing problems. Once she's settled, we'll proceed with the divorce after you leave, of course. I'll return. Are you serious? Of course. I was unfairly treated and ousted from my own home. It was just a heathen argument, right? You doubted your own family. I feel like I failed. There was no trust. Don't be immature. The money's missing and you're pointing fingers without proof. Stop with the excuses. Return the money. That'll resolve everything. You're the one being unreasonable. Enough with the insults. You were desperate for money and now it's gone. You're the only suspect criminal. Enough. Do you know what tomorrow is? What? I can't believe it. You don't even remember your own birthday. Oh, my birthday? Wait, don't tell me. That's right, just as you suspected. I thought it was time for you to have a new suit, especially since you mentioned wanting a custom-made one. I've been saving up for it, but it wasn't enough. You fool! You know custom-made suits are expensive, and we can't afford it. That's precisely why I wanted to give it to you so badly. But then you accused me of stealing the money, and it hurt. Wait a minute. I had no idea. I'm sorry. It's not something worth getting so upset about, is it? I can't forgive you. The most important thing is missing, so it's over. I'm sorry, but all I can think of is divorce. That's why I've sought legal advice. Or a lawyer. Please stop. I want to resolve this quickly and return to my mom's. I won't. I refuse to divorce, and I won't leave this house. This house is meant to be inherited. What? My decision to divorce was solidified further by Alex's unchanged attitude. If he continues like this, the divorce could become messy. But I remained resolute. As I pondered over all this, my brother reached out to me again. Enough! You need to come back now. No way. Why didn't you say anything earlier? What? Mom spilled the beans. She mentioned you've been covering the mortgage payments for this house. Plus, you've been taking care of all the living expenses. Oh, isn't it strange you weren't aware of it? And your job wouldn't suffice to cover all these expenses. But we can't afford the mortgage. What are you talking about? You have a job, yet you haven't contributed a penny towards the house. It should be your responsibility. Well, yes, but I bought a computer. A high-end one. It was pricey. What? You bought a computer? Because I needed it for work. What else could I do? Oh, so you're making enough to afford such luxuries. Then you should be able to pay the mortgage, right? I already told you I can't afford it. Your husband isn't helping with the living expenses either. What's going on? I've been covering them with my money until now, but with Alex eating out every meal, there's nothing left. So what's the plan? We need to figure something out fast. If we don't pay the mortgage, we'll lose the house. What about Mom and Dad? I had reached my limit with my brother's selfish attitude. Enough already. Who cares about your video game streaming? You barely have 100 subscribers and your views are in the single digits. You won't make any money like that. Nobody watches it because it's boring. How would you know? I just searched for video game streaming and it came right up. Wearing a mask and sunglasses doesn't hide your identity. How did you afford a computer with that? Don't tell me you. I didn't take any money from your husband. How do you know about it then? Something's not adding up. Well, I overheard you two talking. What? There was no one home when we had that argument. You were out, which is unusual for you. That's a misunderstanding. You must have mixed up the dates. Stop playing games. You're the one who took it, right? If you don't confess, I'm going to report this to the police. Wait, report it to the police? No, please don't. I found some money and I borrowed it. I promise. I'll pay it back. Don't give me excuses. I won't forgive you. Get out of my house now. I'll be back tomorrow, and if you're still here, I'm calling the cops. Don't say that. We're siblings. We're family. Can't things just go back to how they were? Don't try to sweet talk your way out of this. I will forgive you. Remember that. Leave before I return tomorrow. Consider this your warning. Don't decide without me. I'm your older brother. Cut me some slack, please. Without responding, I hung up. He kept calling, but I ignored it all. The next morning, I returned home. I'm back. My mother rushed to greet me. Mom, you're back. I'm so relieved. I never realized how much we need you, Samantha. I'm deeply sorry. Mom, it's not your fault. As we conversed in the living room, my brother Ryan emerged from his room, uttering shocking words. So, you decided to return. Here are the repayment details for the loan you took. Make sure to transfer it today. Also, there's a tab at the delivery place you should settle. This mess is all because of you running off like that. Take responsibility for your actions. What are you talking about? Stop this nonsense. I told you to leave. I'll call the police. You're throwing away your life over $3,000. What $3,000? Don't act like you don't. Complain just because I borrowed a bit. You're making a fuss over nothing. A fuss? You steal from me and then call me dramatic? That's not fair, is it? Can I have my money back? I don't recall lending it to you. Being so audacious while living here on my goodwill. We're family, it's fine, right? No, it's not fine. Give it back. Are you sure you want to heat this up? You might find yourself without a place to stay. Watching Alex and my brother argue, my father intervened. I can't believe it, my usually gentle father. Enough, both of you. Leave this house. It's mine. And right now it's Samantha who's paying the mortgage. I won't let it go to anyone else. Yes, I may be the eldest son, but why is my sister taking charge? You're only the eldest son in name. What have you done? You spend all your time gaming indoors. You never got a job, just living off my earnings. You're over 40, grow up and move out. That's too much. Isn't it cruel to kick out a man with no means? This isn't new. You could sell that computer of yours. You're not even working. Hold on. When I say leave, you leave? That applies to you too. What? But I haven't done anything. Haven't done anything? Who drove Samantha out? Treating her like a criminal? A marriage is built on trust. Once it's shattered, a family can't survive. I'm sorry, I apologize. But it was your son Rian who stole, wasn't it? Don't blame only me. You pretended to befriend me, planning to inherit my assets, right? When I lost my job due to bankruptcy, you treated me coldly because I'm broke, didn't you? How awful. What a despicable person. I don't want to see your face. Get out! Don't test me. My father's words left me speechless. Perhaps his sudden action was the culmination of mounting frustration. The divorce with Alex was finalized swiftly, to my surprise. It felt liberating, considering the potential complications. However, Alex kept reaching out to me. Apparently, the reason for our divorce became the gossip at his workplace, and he couldn't handle it, so he quit. He needs to understand that relying on others' money won't lead him anywhere. And my brother appears to be struggling financially, working a cleaning job at the station. A late start indeed. As for me, I have no option but to give my all, hoping for my mother's prolonged health. Our family is beginning anew with the three of us, and our home life is